Welcome folks to Linux for Seniors. And if you don't know anything about this, my new channel, I will take you on a brief tour. But I am going to forewarn you that none of my videos in my growing library, there's currently 30 plus in there, none of my videos are going to be under 2 minutes. What I tried to do on this new channel that I created, and I used to have a previous one, is I'm trying to slow down a little bit and explain a lot of things in a simpler manner. So hopefully you will enjoy that. Today's video I'm going to be talking about Manjaro Plasma desktop and themes. So before I do that, I'm going to actually open up a web browser and just give you a quick introduction to my YouTube channel and basically some tips if you're doing searches using a standard web browser. So I created this channel, as soon as I click that, on February 9th. My previous one used to be called Linux Tips by Thor, and a lot of people have asked me about the channel, but it is discontinued and closed, and I had over 400 plus videos there. So let's just leave it at that. So my new channel, Linux for Seniors, and hopefully you will subscribe because none of my new videos are going to be under 2 minutes. That way, as a subscriber, you can come back tomorrow, the next day, or following week to pick up, or if you hit the stop video today, you can come back tomorrow and resume and have access to the rest of the videos. So my intent is to make simple videos for seniors or anyone. Linux is for any age, really. So I've been around Linux for 25 years, and I thought I'd share some of the information that I have. And some of my tips are unique, and you know, everybody has a different way of doing things. And I can appreciate that also. So anyways, this should also be good for different Linux distributions because my videos are not only on one subject matter. Also, I do have comments turned on, but if there is salty language or different kind of file links in there, they will be deleted immediately. Now, if it gets really bad enough, I will turn off comments. But more importantly, hopefully nobody is bothering to put that kind of information. My feeling is you need to go to a different YouTube site if you want to leave nasty languages for someone. I am just trying to do this for other folks, explaining it in my way. And I know other people have their way. Okay, so let's move on. So the advertising on the videos are added by YouTube, just as an FYI. And you can also use the magnifying glass, which I'll talk about in a second. But I do recommend, if all possible, that you view these videos on the largest screen possible, because a lot of the times your text might be too small on those mobile devices. So as a hidden tip also, if you're using Firefox, you can also do something like that. What am I doing here? Well, some folks know what I'm doing here. But I'm resizing the information in here holding down my control key and using the scroll wheel on my mouse. Just like my tip on the file manager for this distribution. I'll show that in a little bit. So anyways, the other blurb that I threw in there to have some fun, if you have a newer large smart TV, you know those new smart TVs come with different applications. Maybe you're using a Fire Stick or something else. But YouTube applications are very common on some of those smart TVs. If you open that up, go to YouTube, go look at Linux for Seniors, and you can watch my video on a large screen, really large screen, maybe. Maybe you got a big smart TV. Maybe you have the distribution that I'm talking about already installed on your laptop, and you want to follow along on your big screen TV. There's one example. So if your video is blurry, I can tell you a couple of reasons for that. There's multiple reasons why your videos could be blurry. All of my videos are recorded in usually only two modes, 1080 and 4K. A lot of times what happens is when I upload a new video, it takes a while for the YouTube servers to replicate around the world because YouTube is worldwide. And most of those servers are more than likely Linux servers. But more importantly, just be patient when that happens. And more importantly, another tip for you is this gearbox I made reference to. So in my home screen, I'll pause this loud guy. This is my standard intro if you become a subscriber. I wanted to point to that gearbox right here. This is what I'm referencing. So if you're playing this in 360, the video will be blurry. However, it does have the capability of going higher. So you just pick the mode. In my case, I could do 4K or 1440. Whatever your resolution monitor has, but Just be aware of that thing down here. A lot of times too, what happens is YouTube scales down during their popular hours when people are streaming a lot of videos, for instance. Just be aware of that little gearbox. Comes in handy for everybody's videos on YouTube. All right, with that said, I do have some other tips for you if you become a member. First of all, I have some links for you. 7 currently. This one goes to DistroWatch if you're looking for other Linux distributions. gnome-look.org. This big mouse pointer can be found there. So it's a non-profit place and some extra links. Also, if you're using a standard web browser, a lot of the new YouTube subscribers miss these. This one, if you click on it, goes to DistroWatch, and the little foot over here goes to gnome-look.org. The limitation with YouTube, I can only put 5 links, but I do have more down here. All right, this photo here, if you're curious, is the coastline of Oregon, USA. So my videos are scrollable. Again, I'm using a standard web browser. May look different if you're using a mobile device. And I do recommend that you watch these things if you can on a bigger screen. But I have something else for you here as a tip. So you notice that it doesn't matter where I click on, this magnifying glass is still here. If you're using a standard web browser that's normally not available on your mobile applications, you will have this one. This one searches all of YouTube. This one only searches my own YouTube site for keywords. So if you're looking for, let's say, the word mouse, I don't mean the rodent. I'm talking about like computer mouse. It starts finding all the videos on mice. Here's Manjaro right here for large calendars. I'm trying to basically make videos for a lot of different distributions, but I just wanted to be aware that when this library grows, you may want to use that little feature there. Or not. It's up to you. I occasionally post stuff in the community tab, and if you have a smartphone, you can do this cutesy little thing here. Let me resize this a little bit more. If you have a smartphone, I'll just give you one example. Let's say you have an iPhone. Open up the camera on your iPhone and point at that thing. It's a QR code. And that QR code goes directly to my YouTube site. And you can bookmark it. Share it with your friends if you like this channel. Subscribe. Now I'm going to move on. Let's talk about themes. And a tool that I recommend that you at least place on your desktop temporarily. So what is the system I'm working with today? Well, I'm going to use the word NeoFetch. This is Manjaro. And it is the Plasma desktop, and that's the version. Don't read into any of the CPU, GPU stuff because I use these computers for other things. We're just focusing on the distribution. So this is Manjaro Plasma. And yes, I'm using a very large mouse pointer. Comes in handy for a lot of things. My screen is 43 inches if you're curious. It's not reflective on YouTube. So this is a application you can find by searching. It's called Spectacle. It's a screen capture utility. Right click. I'm going to send it to my desktop. And I'm going to leave it there because we're going to use that. And let's talk about themes. So you see what my panel bar looks like. I'll open up the file manager and I'll go to my home folder. And here's my little hidden trick, the same as inside the web browser. I'm doing the same exact trick, holding down the control key with my left hand and scrolling with my computer mouse to resize the icons. You don't have to use this trick. You can use the drag bar, or you can go and click in the menus for that. So anyways, why did I bring this up? I just wanted to leave it up here for a second. So I'm going to click on System Settings. I'm going to talk about some important things that you should be aware of when you're playing. So we're going to focus in on the appearance section. There's a lot of options in here. Let me move this guy just a little bit. Do I need to resize this slightly? Let me just grab a hold of the edge just a little bit. Hopefully that is now in full view. Okay. So we have global theme. We have application style, plasma style, and a lot of different options that you can alter. Okay. Discard. Let's say you're dealing with this. or the global theme. It doesn't really matter. So let me minimize this for a second because we're going to take a screenshot of this first before I get going. So I got breath light turned on. You can get additional themes. And this screen may be busy when you do that, but make a screenshot nonetheless. Double click. What's the default on this thing? It's normally full screen. What's the difference between full screen and that thing I had active or window? What's the difference on these two? All right, the full screen is not, it's not going to take a picture of itself. So this box it doesn't take a picture of, but it'll take a picture of this box here, your wallpaper, and let's say your wallpaper is really busy. Your wallpaper is a picture of your children, your pets, your something off the internet that has a lot of color. Your screenshots will be pretty large because it takes into the account of all the pixels that are in there. Does that make sense? So basically full-size screenshots are also large files is what I'm trying to get at. So it takes a picture of that. It takes a picture of that icon and it takes a picture of my panel bar. So that'd be a full screen. I'm going to actually take that screenshot. Then I'm going to send it somewhere, save as, in other words. I'm going to send it to my desktop or save it on my desktop. I could save it to the standard pictures folder or some other place. It's in a PNG format. I'm going to leave the defaults. I'm not even going to alter the name. I'm going to hit save. So it puts it up there. So if we look at that screenshot, you can see everything in here minus the actual toolbox that was sitting on top of this thing. So I got a clean idea what this looks like, including the time. But it's a big screenshot. So let me do this again. This time I'm going to change this up and go to active window. Active window. And then I am going to take a screenshot of the active window, this box. There's the thumbnail for it. I'm going to save that or send it to my desktop. Save it to my desktop. Let's compare the two. Let's go back up in here. I meant to click this box, sorry. So let's take a look at the screenshot. It's only the box, but I can clearly see my themes all light up in it. I can see that's global theme, okay? And this one here, again, is everything. The box, my wallpaper, and everything else. Got that so far? Let me right click and compare apples to apples. Can I minimize that so it's not so busy? So what's the difference? Well, this one is smaller than that one. This is in KIB format. If you want a translation, you can kind of break it down. It's 204 bytes or whatever, 1.4 megabytes. Big difference in the two numbers, right? Yeah, so you're limited on hard drive space, you probably want this one. And this one is sufficient. This is obviously the one that I did a window, and this is a full screenshot. As I'm pointing to you can actually see the image size underneath that. The last line says 1.4. That one says 200. It's the same information, but I thought I'd bring it up here to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, I could enlarge that, but it's not going to enlarge the text. Now I'm going to close these, and I'm going to open up my settings box again. So why are these important? Well, let's say you got a bunch of themes, and you just went that, and you went like this. And then you're playing. And a week from now, 3 days from now, you're going, oh, what was that theme I was on? You'd be there clicking, right? Trying to test things. It's easy to do here with these 7, but let's say you installed a bunch of more themes. Now you may understand the value of screenshots. So in this case, I just go, oh, it was breath light. Okay, breath light is right here. I hit apply, and now I'm back. All right, so that's a screenshot of the global theme, right? I'm going to get rid of the big one by hitting delete. I'm leaving that one because we're going to do something with these later. You want to save something before you start messing around. And you can save these little screenshots for a long time, of course. You're going to put them in a folder. I'll show you best practices if you're curious, or at least my practice. Application style. Again, if you alter anything in here, what's a good idea? Screenshot. Plasma style. Screenshot. Colors. Screenshot. Screenshot. Now I'm going to stop here for a second. I'm going to do another screenshot because we're going to alter something. Active window, good to go. Take a screenshot. Where am I going to save it to? Desktop. Close. Let's take a look at that one. I can clearly see that Breeze is lit up under icons, under appearance. I can see everything in here as a nice clean screenshot. Now I'm going to click that. Before I do that though, I'm going to open up the file manager. Let me open up the file manager and leave it here for a second. So let me close the rest of these tabs. And more importantly, I am going to click that and hit apply, because that's how you need to do any of these stuff. And you have to apply anything with the Plasma desktop. So I applied the desk, this theme called high contrast. Nothing changed in here, right? Go take a look at the panel bar now. Take a look at these icons. Go look at your menus. You see what I'm going with? There's some changes in here. Icons look a little different to you? Okay, well, what theme was I on again? Breeze. Okay, let's go look for Breeze. Oh, there it is. Hit apply. Back to where I am. Icons are normal, or back to where I had them. Again, this is only 5. If you had a bunch of these themes, it would be advisable to do screenshots. But more importantly, you also are getting the idea. This is how you can also alter your themes in here, in this system. My only advice to you, like I said, is to make screenshots. You don't have to. Hopefully you get a good memory if you want to go back. And because you can do a bunch of combinations in here. Okay? There's different ways of doing things. Just like everything else in Linux. Many ways of doing things. All I'm doing is advocating a couple of screenshots. Window decorations is another one. You don't like the way this thing is set up? I have a bunch of themes installed. This is simple, but more importantly, just think about a ton of themes in here. All right, what does this one look like? It's kind of a little soft. May not be that discernible. Okay. What's the other one look like? You see the glow around here? It's kind of illumination, if you want to call it that. Okay. The active screen lights up kind of like illumination. Okay. So what was our screenshot? Oh, I forgot. It's good to have this thing, right? Oh yeah, Breeze. Oh no, I'm not dealing with icons. I'm dealing with window decorations. Oh, so it's a different screenshot. Global theme, nope. And I made a full screenshot of that. Oh, window decoration was Breeze. Do I want that file? Well, first I want to alter this. So this should be normal now. In other words, the previous setup. You see, it doesn't glow anymore. All right, so at this point I go, well, since I goofed on this one, because this now is a big file, sorry, it's 1.3 megabytes, roughly. I'll make another screenshot of this. Active window, take the screenshot, and save to the desktop. And close. Get rid of that one. Delete. Now I have that one. It's the small one, in other words. You get the idea? Okay. So out of the combination of these themes, you have quite the few choices. Also, when you're doing anything to do with numbers, you're altering anything in your interface, my suggestion is to make a screenshot before you alter anything. Now, best practices. How about putting these files in an organized manner? Let's open up your file manager, Dolphin. And of course, I could resize the icons if my eyesight needed to be, well, a little bigger. You can also drag the thing down here if you're wanting to do that. So what's a good place to save these 3 files? Well, that is up to you. You can dump them in your pictures folder, or you could just create something in your document folder. Right click, create folder, and call it something. I'm going to call mine screenshots. You can call them whatever you want. Then I'm going to open this up so it's empty. Then I'm going to drag this thing. Can I do all at once or just a single? That's up to you. So I'm going to drag this one all by itself. Move here or or copy here. Do you want to leave the original? No, probably want to move them. Multi-selection. Click on it once, hold down the control key, walk on over, and click that one. Right click, or actually not a right click. Let's just grab both of these at the same time. Move here, yes. All I did was copy the files in between my little icon. That's all I'm doing here. Now if I get rid of my spectacle icon by deleting it, is it gone from the system? No, because I pulled it from here. And why is it in my favorites? Because it's in here somewhere. Spectacle, SP, Screen Capture Utility, program or application to make screenshots. All I did was drag that, or should I say, place it in my favorites. Okay. Now, let's take a look at these screenshots for a second. What's good practice for this? Do you like all this language in here, or do you want to make it something different? All right, let's see what this screenshot is first. So this is global theme. Why don't we rename that as global theme? So you want to use uppercase, that's okay. Let's go take a look at our time. It's 2:23:23. Oh, that's an interesting combo. 2-23-23. Now you named it something, you know what that is. In the next screenshot, you can do the same. You just open that up and you name that whatever icon sets or appearance icons. You call it what you want to call it, but more importantly, keep these things. So why am I advocating these screenshots? Because anytime you alter your system, it doesn't matter if they're icons or different settings. It's a good idea to make screenshots so you can revert back just in case you have problems with the current thing that you're working with, whether it be a theme or something else. Okay, folks? Hopefully you have subscribed. I will have more videos coming out later for multiple different distributions, but hopefully you enjoyed this video on themes and the importance of screenshots. Thank you for watching.